Cloud. Now we're recording. Welcome everyone. You missed the cool party people session because you weren't on here live. So you get it from here. But we're just sort of going over just why we have capsules, why we have shakes, why we have these gels and powders that you hold in your mouth. And it's all because these are the best ways that they're going to absorb into your body and how fast they want it to absorb into your body. So we're just gonna do a quick replay for those that weren't on here live. So capsule is the slowest one going in, and it's meant to be our slowest one and being protected from our stomach acid. So it gets all the way down into your gut. Then we have our shake, which obviously isn't protected by a capsule or anything, but everything in our shakes are meant to survive our stomach acid. And aids to get that capsule all the way down. But next we're going into just looking at our gels and our powders that we have. And so these are really cool because they're going and you're holding it in your mouth for like 20 seconds if you're doing them by the instructions. And you're holding them here because your mouth is going to start absorbing and putting it straight into your bloodstream. That's why when you take chill and you let it dissolve in your mouth, you start to feel chill right away. And so these are meant to work as a really fast acting instead of being a release later on. Because if you're anxious and you want something to like calm you down right then, you don't want to wait 20 minutes for it to calm you down. You want to be calmed right now. And so chill came out and does just that. If you've tried it, it really is extremely fast acting. And it's one that I've really enjoyed, especially like before bed, that I take right before I want to actually fall asleep. And then soon we're going to have heat coming out. So what heat means for all of these people that love to work out, that do that want that like big burst of energy when they go work out. So those that absolutely love pre-workout, this one is one that will definitely be of interest to them because pre-workout is in a liquid form like our shakes, and it's going to take a second longer for that pre-workout to really get going and moving through because it has to get all the way down into your stomach and get going and get absorbed into your bloodstream before you get that burst of energy. Well, heat's taking the middleman out pretty much. So yeah, from what I understand, since we haven't actually seen all the ingredients in it, heat looks more like a pre-workout, more of that jolt of energy that people that really like pre-workout, like sort of that jittery jolt of energy I've learned. I personally do not, but some people really enjoy that, and kudos to them. They enjoy that jolt. But this seems like something that's going to be more of that pre-workout because right now our whatever those are called, if I can think of the words, circulate and recover, both of them don't contain any caffeine. So circulate is really there just to help you to be able to get better oxygen flow and a better workout in that sense. But it's not there for you to get that boost of energy. That's why a lot of people mix it with Activate because that's going to have your caffeine in it. So heat, from what I understand, sounds more like a pre-workout than anything that they have right now, and meant to help sort of jumpstart that metabolism and jumpstart you into your workout. So, and then our gels are sort of that same way. So a lot of people take collagen in a powder form, which isn't really the best way to get collagen, but our gels that start to absorb into your mouth, you get a better absorption rate with that. And then our other one that's super fast for absorption rate is our DFT because it's soaking straight through your skin and into your bloodstream. So those are sort of just, I wanted to go through why we have so many different like products and why they all look a little bit different. just because they're all sort of there for a different reason, and they're meant to absorb at different rates. So I wanted to make sure we had a little bit of time to talk about any questions people have gotten. One other question that I've gotten is why we have like such large amounts of vitamins like B12 in it. If you look at the daily that you need compared to what's in Thrive, it's like 1,000% of your daily B vitamins. And something to keep in mind with the recommended daily amount is literally the daily amount so you don't die. So it's like the daily amount is the least amount you can take and be healthy-ish. So having more, especially in our B vitamins, which are water-soluble vitamins, they're going to flush out whatever you don't use. So I had somebody that was like, why in the world do you need so much extra of all of these? And it's really because some bodies may actually need a little bit more than what the daily recommended amount is. So it's like the recommended amount of vitamin C is literally enough so you don't get scurvy. Like it's the bare minimum of what you need for a day. So having a little bit extra of these vitamins is definitely not a bad thing. And all of these, whatever is not used by your body, is just going to be, it's going to go out of you. So, and especially like B vitamins, you have to replenish on a daily basis. So Thrive really is customizable. No matter what you're sort of looking at going into. So for tech, I would have to look at the back of what's exactly in tech, of why it's so good for the weight management. So I know it has ultra and sort of black label qualities combined together. So, which have some, those are sort of the two that have the appetite management. So Renee, would you like to say something? You can unmute, or I see the little hand.
Okay, yeah. So I have the TAC DFT ingredients actually pulled up.
Perfect.
And so it's got the Garcinia cambogia extract in it, as well as the theanine and the arginine, and those are directly geared to boost your system for weight loss. So those are the ingredients that would help your metabolism work a little faster to help burn those calories for the weight loss. So those are directly, that would be the part of the TAC that does the weight loss.
Awesome. I was like, oh, those, I've looked at some of the ingredients on the back of the black like the DFTs, but I would definitely have to pull them up to remember off the top of my head. So has anybody else had like any questions or any questions that you've thought of? Like definitely unmute, ask, help put together the answers.
I got a random question. I don't know if you will have the answer to this, obviously. A friend of mine locally here was at my house the other day talking about how she's dealing with a lot of like anxiety and stress and stuff like that. And she used to thrive and then she stopped thriving, and it's not like worth my time and effort to like try to get her back thriving as much as it would, benefit her. But I did give her a package, like a whole bag of chill. And I was like, hey, whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, just pop one of these in your mouth. Don't do more than twice a day, whatever. She did one and immediately started puking. It only has like 5 ingredients in it. Like it's not even anything crazy, but she immediately started puking. She thought it was a fluke. Like she didn't realize that it was because of that. And then she took one the next day and started puking. And then she skipped a day and she didn't have any puke. And then the 4th day she took another one and she started puking again. Is there anything in there that's like a common allergen?
Not that I know of. Let me pull it up, because I haven't looked at the ingredient. Like I've looked briefly through them. Maybe it's also a texture thing, because it is a really weird like texture consistency in your mouth. Yeah. And I know that sometimes throws people off, and especially if you get like, if you're one of those that it's really like common that you don't like textures. I know some people that will get sick just from a texture issue.
So it says that it has the L-theanine, the 5-HTP, which she did the black label. Yeah. And the black label has 5-HTP. So I know it's not that. Chamomile extract. She does chamomile teas. So I know it's not that. And then the ashwagandha extract, and then the GABA. I'm not, I mean, I know that we've talked about what ashwagandha does, but I'm not familiar with the GABA or the ashwagandha as far as like allergies might go or anything like that.
Well, if she did the 3 steps, those are also between some of those steps as well.
Yeah, and she did
So-
the 3 steps for months, like probably 6 months with no issue.
So if she's taking chill on an empty stomach, the GABA can cause you, it's like it's an acid, so it can irritate your stomach if it's taken on an empty stomach. So she might just have to eat something and then take it.
Ooh, okay,
because,
gotcha.
because it could just be overwhelming, because our body naturally has acid, but she's adding extra acid into it with the chill. So she's taking it on an empty stomach. She's probably over compensating her stomach with the amount of acid that's in it. If she's trying to take, like, not go all day without eating, and then she's having anxiety and she's taking the chill, she's adding to the extra acid that's being put into her system. So she might just be overwhelming it.
The Mandy says that her brother's allergic to wintergreen, so that could also be a culprit to it. So yeah, that is odd. Yes, Rachel.
I have sorry, I'm like raise my hand and then I'm like, hey, I'm silly. That's let me step outside. The ashwagandha is related to ragweed allergens. So I don't really know what a ragweed is, but I just Googled that and it sounds like it's some sort of kind of like a environmental, you know, some people are just allergic to grass. You never know what they're going to be allergic to, but it looks like ragweed something allergen.
Something to keep in mind. So there's a couple of ideas, at least, for
Maybe new nutrition topic, common allergens people have.
I feel like that would go on for hours.
I think that one would be a really good one though, because there's a lot of times like my husband isn't necessarily allergic to milk, right? But the lifestyle mix has dairy in it, right? So it can upset his stomach sometimes just if he has too much other things that have dairy in it throughout the day. So it's just like things like that maybe new promoters don't necessarily they don't deal with it themselves, or their spouse doesn't deal with them themselves. They might not be used to it. So if somebody's like having intense bowel movements or something, cut down your shake to half a shake instead of a full shake. You know what I mean? Like just little things like that.
Yeah, no, that would be an awesome idea. Writing it down. If I don't write it down, it doesn't happen. Or make some form of a note. But no, that would be a great one to do. Especially for like the dairy and going through like what dairy is in this shake, because I can't do any milk or hardly any like cheese, dairy. It makes me sick, but the shake doesn't bother me at all. So just things for people to be like aware of when we're working with people. But yeah, so does anybody else have any questions or anything that they're curious about? So a lot of us have been here on nutrition before, so. But if not, that's sort of all that I had planned, was going over those and just sort of opening up the floor to if anybody had any nutrition related questions, since we haven't had one in a while, or a chat to even ask in. So, but if not, thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Enjoyed getting to do another nutrition Zoom again. So, but we'll see everyone Wednesday. There we go. I'm like, I don't even know what day it is anymore. But bye, everyone.